All right, today's guest is Marcus Lazell. I invited him to be a guest on the show because I was super impressed when I came across his Instagram page. You guys should seriously check it out. Like, some of the pictures that he has are beyond creative, and that's coming from somebody who has zero creativity. Welcome, Marcus Lazell. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good, man. So tell me a little bit about what you're doing on Instagram. Like, what's your goal there?
That's a good question because I'm not so sure myself because I used to be a really big influencer on Twitter, and then my account got suspended because I was quote tweet stealing. There's a whole BuzzFeed article about it, but I don't even think I was tweet stealing.
What is tweet stealing? That's a thing?
Yeah, I kind of I admit I was maybe stealing a little bit, but I just draw inspiration from other people's tweets. It's like when you give your friend the homework and he changes it around and then to make it look like he did it.
Right, I get what you're saying.
I did a poor job of it, and people will get in hey, you stole my tweet, blah 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 blah. They get all their little friends to report me.
Right.
So it'd be 20 people reporting one tweet, and it just looks bad. And I was the only one. If you're on Twitter, accounts like Dory, Freddie Amazing, Common White Girl Post, all those accounts, they would tweet steal. At least I would change the words. But yeah, we all got suspended, shut down for it. I think we call it the Twitter purge. I don't know. I haven't been on Twitter since.
Okay, so then you moved to Instagram after that.
I moved to Instagram. I was like, fuck. I was like, F this, I'm out. I was 100K followers, verified. If you literally, I'm not BSing around. If you go on Google, type in Debay Marcus, TheBaeMarcus, one word. Go to images. You'll just see all my tweets. And you'll just see all this funny stuff I did. Most of them were original. Some of them were stolen.
Yeah.
But I'm.
Oh my gosh.
I had dry days. Okay. I don't know what you want me to do.
So then you had it as a goal. Then were you trying to post something every day? And okay. Now I get it.
I want to be funny at least once a day.
Right.
It's me stealing tweets is like Kanye sampling. It's still great. You love it, but you're come on, Kanye, be original. I'm like.
Oh my gosh, that's great.
But after I got suspended, I moved to Instagram, and I'm really into fashion and the fashion scene. I don't know. I tell all my friends how to dress. They really hate me, but they love me at the same time. And I wanted to be a menswear fashion page, but then I was looking at all the pages because you gotta compare competition. You gotta see what people are doing. You gotta see the kind of trends going on, and everyone's fashion page was so bland and the same. It's like walking in the middle of the street wearing a decent outfit, looking to the side, candid shot, posing, pose, whatever. And I was like, that just looks so boring. So I tried to be different with my post. But then the more different I was, the less fashion it became. And the more it started going creative, different angles, different shots. And then I don't know, I just randomly got into Photoshop, and then that's where things went downhill in a sense.
Yeah, your Photoshop is incredible. What I'm talking about, guys, is when I see his posts on Instagram, it's like a gorilla in a forest, and it looks so real, or sharks in a pool. It's just ridiculous. And the angles that he takes, where he's laying down on a railway, but it looks like he's climbing a wall. It's incredible. So that's why I was just super fascinated by it. So it just started to drift into that once.
Yeah.
Okay, and now you decided to stick with that.
I don't want to, but
No.
I guess I have to, because now I have to be even more creative. It's how do I top the next post? I have a post where there's an elephant swimming in the sky. How do you top that?
Right.
It's so being a creative is just the hardest thing in the world, because now your expectations are being raised to a new bar every time you do something. So will this album be better than my last album? Will
Right.
this painting be more memorable than the last painting? Will this poem stand out more than my last poem? It's a really tiring thing.
What is your process for coming up with creative ideas? Do they just come to you, or do you have a process where you sit down, or something that you do that helps you get these ideas out?
A little bit of both. Sometimes I'll just be what if I'm at a pool and there's sharks in the pool? I was but that's been done before. What if I put the sharks in the forest, in the water, and I'm above the thing, and I'm just chilling, but there's 3 hammerhead sharks just looking to eat me or something like that. And other times I'll be on Pinterest or YouTube or other people's Instagram profiles, and I'm kind of inspired by it, and I'm just I wonder, can I recreate that?
Yeah.
So it's also what can I do differently, or can I do that?
Interesting.
Yeah.
So were you always creative though? Or do you think it's something that you develop by just being fascinated by these things and practicing? Like basically, is it something that you're born with or can you develop it? I'm stuck with this question. It's something I want to know.
I say you're born with it, but it's like different degrees of being born with it. And then like when I was like, I remember, how old was I? I think this was like second or third grade. I remember just randomly just going in my house and getting all this like printer paper and tape. And I made like 2 like actual size swords out of like tape and construction paper. Like,
right.
And they were like loaded so you could like, because at first they were kind of flimsy. And I was like, well, I can't beat, the Joker like this. I'm like playing Batman in my mind. And I'm like, I can't beat the Joker like this. So I kept like loading it up with tape and paper. And it was actually kind of heavy. My mom was a little scared of how heavy these paper swords were hitting. And like that was like something I was doing at like as a child. And then it's like all these different things. Like I always had like the craziest like ideas. Like I remember in middle school, I wanted to create my own cartoon show. So I started drawing the characters. And it was actually like in somewhat detail for like a little kid. And it's always like, you're creative, but you don't know how to express your creativity through what medium, whether it's podcasting, photoshopping, creating like physical art, digital art, musical. So it's like, but you can become creative.
Okay. Yeah, because that's what I kind of noticed. But for me, it's like, it's a structured creative. Because that's what I was talking to my mom about. Because I took a test, just an IQ test, because I wanted to see what my creativity score would be. Because I always heard like creativity is correlated with IQ. Mm-hmm. And then my creativity, so out of 100, 0 to 100, I got 0. Straight up 0. Not even 1% of creativity. But I still have managed, but it's not in the sense of what other people do for creativity. Because I was talking to my mom, I was like, it doesn't make sense though. Because when you forced me to play guitar in middle school and I went to the Miami competitions, like I won all these trophies, and she's like, yeah, but you weren't like sitting there like feeling out the music. You were systematic, like mathematical approach to it. You're like, okay, you press this chord, then this chord, then this chord, like you just kind of memorized it. You weren't like being creative and creating your own music with it. And it's like, okay, that makes sense. And then I tried stand-up comedy, sort of same thing, where these jokes, I mean, like I'm not naturally funny, it just doesn't come to me. Sometimes I am. But like trying to structure, like to come up with a joke, like I had to like look at other structures of jokes and then try to kind of replace the words that they use. And that's how I sort of came up with my jokes. So I kind of wonder, like, you can maybe get to the same ideas of creativity, but like there's a limit, I feel like maybe for me, where you can just come up with these crazy ideas because you think so far out of the box, where I'm just like, I need a little bit of a box to shape what I'm doing. If that makes sense.
No, that makes perfect sense. Like, it's like a split in the middle in the way I'm thinking. Like, you can be like as creative as like, oh, I'm gonna put paint on the wall, splatter everywhere, and then that's my art. But other people are like, I'm gonna draw a nice woman in this weird ugly gown, half smiling, and her name mines with Moana, and to just put that on the wall. Like, you could like the Mona Lisa looks bland if you look at it.
Right.
It looks completely normal, bland. I mean, I guess there weren't a lot of pictures of women during this time, but it's just a woman.
Well, as a creative, do you see all art equally? And let me explain by what I mean by that. So if you see, like some people will look at splattered paint and they'll just be like, it's splattered paint, while other people will be like, no, this expresses something, to see something. Do you see that across all genres? Do you see like all styles of artistic paintings, like, wow, I can see the beauty in that, and drawings and music and poetry and comedy, like all across the board? Or are you kind of more geared towards one way where you're like, I consider this kind of painting art, but this kind, splatters, I don't? Or maybe just drawing a picture of somebody, like that's just not creative, even though it's good. That's not, like, do you see creativity in all of it? Or are you like, this is creative, I don't really see how these people call this artistic though? Like sculptures, these things where I'm just like, huh?
I consider everything art. Is just, do I appreciate it? No.
Okay, maybe that's a better way to say it.
Like, I think, like, whether, a Mona Lisa or paint splatters, to me, they're both art. You're expressing yourself. That's art. Like, the definition-wise, is expressing yourself. Do I appreciate the Mona Lisa more than the paint splatters? Probably not. Like I don't appreciate it, but I understand as a creative that that's how you're expressing yourself. It may not be in the form that I understand, but that's how you're doing it, and that's completely fine. Like,
So are you able to see though, like what other people, like some people, like maybe I can look at a splatter paint and I can understand this person is trying to express himself in some way, but I can't see what they're trying to express. Like to me, I just cannot fathom how these represent these emotions. Can you still see though, even though you don't? Okay, sometimes you just don't see, and that's why it doesn't. Okay.
Yeah, I'm from LA, and LA is full of creative people, weirdos, all alike. And I went to an art gallery. I paid like $20 to go in this art gallery, and the first thing I see is this small room with like these windows, and it's just some guy with paint, and he's just slapping himself against the wall, like all against the wall, just paint, red, blood, purple, magenta, just slamming his body against the wall, throwing his hands up, just And
right.
he had like a whole audience of like 30 people with their phones recording the whole thing. I'm just like, this makes no sense to me.
Yeah.
Why are they watching it? It's just colors everywhere, but he's expressing himself, and that's he's making people pay $20 to see him. Obviously, he's doing something right.
Right.
Just because I don't see it doesn't mean others won't.
Interesting. Okay. Because I'm just trying to see, because I've always disregarded myself as creative, but it's because I've always compared myself in the sense it's like I don't like to draw or paint, therefore I'm not creative. But it's like you can be creative in the other sense, like how you're saying, if you lack something, or if you don't have a play sword, you can go make a play sword out of utilities around and kind of. So I've always been more creative in that sense. Like I like to work out, but if I don't have my equipment, like I can go work out on a tree branch. Like I'll find substitute equipment, stuff like that.
Everyone's creative. Like we're in the library. Wait, am I allowed to disclose our location?
Yeah, man.
Okay.
Go ahead, man.
We're
not top secret.
I know we're in like the secret bunker, the man cave.
Don't let them know I don't actually have a studio. What are you doing, man?
So we're in the library. When you think about it, someone designed this library. Someone took the time, like, okay, I want these ropes here, I want these chairs here, I want the table here, I want private rooms where people can do podcast study groups, I want bookshelves here, I want this nonfiction, fiction, scientifical, blah, 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 blah.
Right.
That takes some form of creativity. As boring as it may be, and as most people don't even go to libraries or appreciate libraries, that's still creativeness by itself. Architects are creative people. Roller coaster engineers are creative people. People who made the pencil are creative people. There's different forms of it, but we're all creative in our own sense.
That makes sense. I think that's a better way of looking at it, because I just don't understand how these, because I'm really interested in psychology, so that's why I dived into these like IQ tests, because they say a lot of these things like IQ is one thing that's standard, like you can't improve it, or like it's just, you're kind of born with it, it's like a genetic thing. And then they say creativity is like a huge correlation to intelligent people. Generally, people who are very creative have a very high IQ. So I was just trying to kind of see the correlation with these things, and they say that creativity is something that you're born with, and you can't really. So it didn't feel right to me, but I wanted to explore it and kind of see what other people think, and then try to see the science behind it too. But I wanted to back up to what you said before. So you're originally from LA. Why did you come to Orlando?
This is a funny story. I go to Full Sail. I know, gross. I don't like it there either. But when I first had to go to college, I applied to Full Sail, and my dumb ass thought Full Sail was in California. I never checked the address or
my
nothing.
gosh.
If you look at it online, it looks like a very Californian school.
Right, because it's for like creatives and stuff like that.
It's like game design, music production, digital art media. There's a class called creative writing. Like,
right.
It looks straight California. Like, it just looks like something I would find in LA. And it didn't help. I lived next to a school called the Art Institute of California, which is apparently their sister school. Well, I'm just looking like, oh, this looks like LA. I applied. During my application online, they called me at a 2-hour-long interview and like, okay, we're going to put you on the good list or something. I was like, all right, whatever. I applied, paid my $40, and then like within like a week, I got accepted. And I was like, oh, don't need to apply anywhere else. Like, all my friends are struggling. They're in debt by like $200 because they applied everywhere. Yeah. I applied once, I got in. And then like summer hit. I was like, I'm like a month and a half in the summer. And they're like, where are you? You haven't shown up to any of your classes. And I was like, huh? And they're like you're not in any of your classes. You haven't showed up for attendance or anything. And I was like, what do you mean? And they're like, well, our records show you live in California and you haven't signed into anything over here. I was like, aren't you guys in California? where are you calling me from? A toll booth in Mexico? And then like, we are in Winter Park, Florida. And I was like, oh, one moment, please. Mom, we have to move. I moved. She stayed. Lucky her. But
wow, so you actually went through with it. I see. If I was in your shoes, I'd probably be like, yeah, I'm gonna resign, guys. I'm sorry.
you have one life. You have to do. You have to.
That's
do
crazy.
things.
Yeah, no, that's awesome that you did that though.
Yeah, you have to experience life and go new places and do I'm in the state of Florida. I don't have any family here. I have like one uncle I don't even talk to. And I'm just here by myself, but yet I still manage to make friends, have dope adventures, do all these amazing things. Like, you can be in the Podunk, Ohio, and still make it a great, time.
Of course.
You have to experience life. You can't just be restricted to where you're from. I mean, don't forget your roots, but you still gotta go out and see the world. It's a whole new world out there full of amazing, beautiful people.
What do you like to do for like fun adventures? Like, what is your definition of this is a good adventure? Is it going out and just exploring, or is it kind of maybe going to another state on a trip, or is it just going to a party, or is it exploring with your creative artwork, or all the above? Like, what is a good adventure for you?
Anything I don't do normally.
Okay, so maybe like spontaneous things.
Yeah,
anything along those
like
lines.
I wake up every day. Thank you, Jesus. I eat whatever, but like I love it when my friends like, yo, let's go surfing. I don't know jack shit about surfing, but I'm like, fuck it, I'm down.
Right.
Can you teach me? He's like, yeah, I can teach you. You got extra boards? Yeah, I got extra board. Let me grab my swim trunks. And I went surfing. Did I get hit by wave after wave? Yeah, but I'm out here at Cocoa Beach. I'm surfing. All the other locals, they're not the nicest people, but they understand that I'm a noob. They yell at me a little bit, but you know what? Fuck it. I'm having fun. Like, you surf every day. Good for you.
Were you able to actually get on the board and like ride the waves, or no?
I did the very end.
Oh, good
if
for you,
I didn't
man.
stand up, I was riding the wave. I was riding it on my stomach. So like, I was accomplished. I got hit every time.
No, I tried once. I went out to New Smyrna. Like, he just kept paddling out there. I'm like, how far are you trying to paddle out?
Yeah.
By the time I got out there, I was like, no, man, you think I have enough energy to stand back up on this board? I'm paddling back to shore, and I'm done.
Yeah, I know. It's so scary because the further you get out, you're like, am I going to drift off to the middle of the ocean?
Yeah.
Are there going to be sharks?
Oh, New Smyrna, shark capital of the world. First place I'm going to go surfing ever. Great idea.
Yep. I would have said, this is what I say to all my friends when they want me to do something stupid. I'd be like, I will say no the first time, but if you ask me again, I will say yes. Even if you want to get like Taco Bell, I'm like, fuck no, that's disgusting, it's gross, bad for your health. You want to get Taco Bell? Sure, why not? It's happy hour. Let's get a freezy. They're half off.
Oh my gosh. Do you think you're going to ever go back to LA, or do you want to? Yeah, you want to go back there after you graduate then?
Of course, it's too hot here.
Yeah.
It's humid. Like, the lotion melts off my face. It's bullshit.
Dude, I was wondering that because, like, I have a lot of allergies here and just, like, my skin gets irritated here. Like, I was wondering, is it the humidity? Like, if I went to another state that has, like, dry air, even if it's hot, but if it's just dry air, do you think, like, the allergies would kind of go away and you just feel better?
Yeah, this is too stuffy for me.
Yeah.
I walk outside and after 10 minutes, I feel, that you gross feeling? Like, you feel like there's, like, a layer of grossness on top of you?
It didn't even happen in, like, 85 degrees.
Yeah,
when it's humid, you just feel gross.
Bullshit.
Yeah, it's bullshit.
How do I unsubscribe from this? Like, I didn't sign up for this.
Oh my gosh.
That's why I don't like going outside. But then I still have fun when I do go outside. So I try to make the most of it.
So you want to go back to LA or somewhere else in California?
I want to go back to LA. I miss LA. Every break I go straight back. I literally every break, like spring break, I literally go, fuck all of you, fuck Florida, fuck you, to my friends. I'm like, fuck you, fuck you, fuck this sweater, fuck this couch, everything. And they're like, okay, Marcus. And then I go to LA, I'm like, I'm back, bitches. We in this, let's pop bottles with Instagram models. And then I get all sad, I come back, I'm like, I miss California. It's just, and then I kind of like, Florida ain't so bad. But then when I get that plane ticket, like when it's in my fucking iPhone wallet plane ticket, I'm like, fuck everybody.
Yeah, I want to check out California so bad. That's on my bucket list.
You have to.
But and there's so many places in California too that I want to check out. Not just LA, but like, because I feel like each place in California is almost like a different state.
Yeah,
they're just so different from each other.
It's so weird. Like, You'll be in downtown LA, which is like the homeless people capital of like the world. It's just homeless people everywhere. It's just disgusting, nasty, but I love it. It's so it's like nasty. I love. But you go to Calabasas, California, and that's where like the Kardashians and Kanye's at, and everything's so nice and pretty. And then you go to like it's just the small things that like my friends don't believe me. Like Beverly Hills, California, they have this thing called all-way crosswalks. If you don't know what that is, basically when it's time to do the crosswalk thing, all traffic stops. And everyone can go in any way they want to. So you can go dead ass middle of the street and just stand there for your whole 60 seconds. And that's like a thing there because, you know, everyone drives expensive cars. You don't want to get hit. A lot of traffic, high volume area. But so it's like all the crosswalks stop, all traffic stop. You can't make no U-turns. You can't turn right on oncoming traffic because there is no oncoming traffic.
Right.
Just you can stand in the middle of the street and I'd be there. Like there'd be like Bugattis, Lambos, all this shit, and I'm not exaggerating. And I just start dancing and Snapchat like I'm in that middle of the street.
Yeah.
Just to show my friends that's a small thing there, but no one here believes me it's a real thing.
Well, the traffic's got to be horrible there then.
Oh yeah, it's terrible.
You know, you really can't drive there.
No.
You got to walk around. Yeah.
It's terrible. Like it's a different feeling when you're late to school because Ryan Seacrest is in the middle of the road filming the Oscars. Like
right, it's like, oh, it's okay.
It's a different type of like I'm late, not because I'm slow or I woke up. It's like, oh, fucking Ryan Seacrest.
Right, when the teacher asks, why were you late, you have a good reason.
It's like, here on LA Boulevard, you know, I'm here with the 59th annual Oscar ceremony starting pregame show or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, that's a legitimate thing that happens. Like,
have you met any famous people?
I met a lot of famous people.
Who's your favorite story or your favorite one?
Okay. This is my Disney one. Okay.
Okay.
So I was working. I'm sorry. I think I have a cold or something.
No, don't worry about it, man.
I was like stuck in your nose. Okay. I was working as a dishwasher at this vegan restaurant in North Hollywood. Right? Vegan restaurants, common thing. I'm like washing dishes, busting stuff, listening to G-Eazy. Woo! It's just me, myself, I. Whatever. My friend comes back. He's like, dude, guess who's here? And I was like, we're in California. It could be anybody.
Yeah, right.
It could be Tupac. Like, he could come back alive and be like, you know what? I want a vegan burger. You know, like fuck, it could be anyone. I was like, oh, he's like, think Disney. And I was like, ooh, Hannah Montana. He's like, no. And I was like, Selena Gomez. No. I was like, I don't really like anyone else. So you got me. Oh, Zendaya. He's like, no, because I love Zendaya. I was like, who else? He's like, Sweet Life of Zaki Cody. I was like, oh, Cole Sprouse are here? He's like, no. I'm like, what the fuck? Mr. Mosby. He's like, no. I was like, damn. Esteban Julio Macoda de la Rosa Maveres. He's like, no, not even close. And I was like, Ashley Tisdale. He's like, no. I was like, there's no one else in that show. He's like, you're missing one person. And I was like, just go outside, turn your head, look. And I go outside, and I was like, Wendy Wu, Homecoming Warrior, fucking Brenda Suggs. Oh, it's just there. It's just like,
I forgot about her.
Yeah, me too. Actually, the only one I forgot. London Tip is really great. I was just like, And she was there. And I was like, what? Wendy Wu. And she's like, you like that movie? And I was like, I mean, if you don't like it, I don't like it, obviously. But, you know, it's totally fine if you don't like that movie because I don't like that movie.
Yeah.
And then, like, I literally pushed the cashier out the way and helped her with her order. I was like, get out the way, Mary Page. What would you like, Miss Songs? We have a wide selection of everything. You know, just, like, trying to be, like, the nicest person ever to her. And then she ordered food. She sat down. And then I was like, yo, Jandy. He's like, what? I was like, you know, it'd be the best idea ever. He's like, what? What if I asked her to Homecoming? And I pulled up with London Tipton on my arm, the Homecoming. I'm in high school, like junior year.
Oh, so she went with you to?
No. I wish. Wouldn't that be the greatest story ever?
No, I thought that's where we're going.
From dishwasher to Homecoming King. No. I was like, Miss Tipton. I mean, Miss Songs. You don't know me, but I watched you growing up. And I wouldn't say I'm in love with you, because I'm not. But I'm in love with you at this very moment. I'm like, would you go to homecoming with me? And she's like, aw. And the minute you get the aw, that's when it's over. If you ever get an aw in your life, walk away.
Yeah.
That means you're adorable and I appreciate you, but that means a big fat fucking no. And that's what she said. She didn't say it like that. She's like, I would, but I'm dating, I forgot his name, but it's like Miley Cyrus's brother at the time. And I was like, oh.
That's cool.
All right. You're dating Miley Cyrus's brother. That's great. I'm like 17 years old in high school. I don't know how I'm going to compete with him.
Yeah.
Or why he have a problem with you taking a minor to homecoming. But you know what? All right. Fine. I'm trying to find this picture so you don't think I'm just bullshitting.
No, I believe you, man.
Yeah.
I mean, if not, then you're damn well creative to come up with that whole story. And to not have it end with her going to prom with you.
Found it. So I had braces and glasses, but here she is.
Oh, damn.
Right?
Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah, like I actually met her. She's really short, but yeah, she's like, yeah, no. And then like by spring of luck, I'm like sad, and then her food comes out. I'm like, oh, thank God, I can just leave. And that's a celebrity I met.
So when you go back to LA, like what is your goal? Like what do you want to do for a living? Like how do you want to take, I'm sure something with creativity, what you kind of do. What do you want to do for a living? If you could have it your way and you knew for sure it would work out, what is that?
Dream job?
Yeah, let's go with dream job first and then we'll back up to like what your plan is to get there and we'll go that route.
Realistically speaking, I would love to be an Instagram model. Like that sounds kind of weird, but I don't know, something about like, okay, I thought I was gonna burp or fart. I don't know which one. I felt something exiting my body, but something about people being anticipated every time you upload a picture is just like, I don't know, mesmerizing. Like, ooh, what's he gonna do this time? Where is he now? Is he in Maui? Is he in Dubai? Is he in Portugal? Like, where is he? There it is. Excuse me.
Oh, jeez.
But like Instagram model, and then I would like to be like actor, comedian. Like I would like to do everything, and the worst part is I have done everything on the small scale. Like I made a podcast. Was it successful? No. Did anyone listen to it besides my mom? No.
So you still don't do it?
No.
Oh man.
It's because I use SoundCloud as my host.
So you were only uploading to one platform, you're saying?
No. Like you have. I upload my podcast with iTunes, but you had to have a hosting website. And SoundCloud was like a free hosting website.
Yeah.
But you could only have so many hours on SoundCloud. So I exceeded my hour limit, or like my hour, I think like 2 or 3 hours. And every old episode got deleted and replaced with the newest one.
Oh, that sucks, yeah.
Yeah, so it's in the archives. Like if I go to SoundCloud Premium right now, you will see all the episodes. But like right now, if you go and you look it up, there's like episode 1 is missing.
Okay.
So I was like, I don't want to pay for SoundCloud Premium right now. I'm a college student. I don't want to do this.
Yeah.
I just stopped doing it. No one ever asked me to bring it back. So I was like, fuck it. Like, no one cares.
What was it about, your podcast?
I talked about hip-hop, pop culture, and, like, random things. Like, I talked about, like, Tory Lanez new album to, like, Stan Lee was in the hospital. It's just stuff like that. Like, things that interest me.
Yeah.
Because I can't talk about anything else that didn't interest me, so.
Yeah, that's why I like to do my podcast, too.
Yeah.
But so you want to do Instagram modeling, comedy, acting in, like, movies, TV show, or anything. Just acting.
Anything where my face is present, I'll do it.
Okay, so like the center, so entertainment, basically.
Yeah, entertainment. I want to be an entertainer.
So now what is your plan when you come out of college? Is it to just try to apply and get gigs right away, or is it maybe get a little side job and then on the side when you're not working, pursue these things? And what is that side job? Is it just to make money, or is it something that also correlates to what you're trying to do?
So my mom is a dope individual. Shout out to her. She said if I go to college, she'll pay for stuff. So like rent, food, allowance, all her. As long as I get an education, she'll pay for it.
Right.
And if I graduate college, I can move in with her and live for like 4 years and kind of, if I have like a job, I can figure myself out. So I'm rent free for 4 years. So a lot of people don't have the opportunity. People who move to LA want to be actors, musicians, all that shit.
And she lives in LA.
Yeah.
So you have the benefit of being in LA and living. Yeah, that's perfect, man.
Yeah, people move there, they don't know anyone, then they have to get like a real job. Yeah. And then on their off hours, that's when they can go to auditions and all that. Like I had managers like at restaurants because I worked for fun. I didn't work because I needed money. But like I had managers who were like, all right, I'm not showing up for these days because I have an audition to go to.
Yeah.
So we were there and we didn't have no manager. People like, can I speak to the manager? We're like, well, he's on Sunset Boulevard right now trying to do a commercial. So you can call him. I'll give you his number, but I doubt he'll pick up. Like, but I'll have that kind of advantage of like, I'm living rent free. I'm already there. I have a job just to have a job. I'm gonna like figure myself out, and I have like 4 years to do that before she kicks my ass out. So that's my goal, is to do as many like opportunities as I fucking can. Like
that's my plan too. Go back home, live at home, get that free rent. You know, help pay out a little bit.
Yeah.
Like I'm a work too and help, but it allows me to do like where I can only work 20 or 30 hours a week, and that's fine. And then I still have that extra time to pursue these side things instead of working 40 hours a week, coming home tired and not wanting to pursue these things.
Yeah.
So I'm so thankful for that.
Yeah, it's not like if you went to LA right now and you have family there or a friend or a cousin.
Yeah.
And you had like, you worked part-time at Starbucks, but you did a bunch of commercial acting. You're still being paid for the commercial acting. And you're also building a resume and a portfolio. It's like, oh yeah, I've been at Disney commercial, Verizon, blah, 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 blah. And you're like A, B, and C. You're still being paid for that. Yeah. Like, I have a friend who lives with his mom. He does all commercial acting. And he made like $60K in 1 year commercial acting. He bought a car in cash. He just commercial acting. And
is it hard though? I heard commercial well, actually no, commercial modeling is what I'm talking about. I heard it's harder to get commercial model gigs than fashion model gigs, but it's commercial acting. Is that hard to get gigs? No.
I mean, it's not. I mean, as long as you just look like a normal person, like I don't want to be like mean, but if you have any like deformity or anything, it's a little harder unless people are looking for that specific look, and you gotta be okay with that. Like I lived in Las Vegas at one point, and for their Halloween Horror Nights at Circus, they hired people without limbs,
right,
to be zombies.
Right.
So as long as you're cool with having your deformity or whatever, and you'll keep people exploiting that for whatever, like there was a girl there who didn't have any legs, and she crawled around on her hands. I was scared shitless. And I was looking at her like, that's not real. You're fake. Get away from me. I was yelling at her. And I saw at the end of the night rolling a wheelchair to her car or whatever she took to get home. But like, if you look a normal person, it's kind of easy. Because like, my friend, he'll get paid. Like, he'll sit there all day. He'll eat they're required to feed you. So he'll eat. And then they'll be like walking from this point to this point. Boom, he gets paid like $200.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And sometimes they won't need him that day, but he's just to come back the next day, and he gets paid for that day too. You're not making enough money to like live baller life, DJ Khaled, water your plants every day, but you are still making some money, even though you're doing like you're behind a bush. You're filling the area. Like you're still getting.
You're still making as much money as you would just working at Starbucks or any of these other basic jobs.
I would say like 1 day of commercial acting is worth maybe like 3 days of Starbucks, maybe.
Right. So even better to a degree.
Yeah, but I mean it's all about finding like you have to go out and you have to find that shit. Like I tried to be a gangster background for Training Day 2. My mom saw it on a Facebook ad. Literally, it was like gangsters wanted. Show up here.
Yeah.
And I went there, and I shit you not, there were 200 gangsters, and I'm in LA. Some of these gangsters were probably real gangsters. They look like it.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm a little scared, but they're all here, the same reason am I, to get a job. We're not trying to pull up on anyone's block and do drive-bys. So it was.
They might just have to prove how gangster they are, though.
Yeah, that was literally it. There was one dude who was like, man, oh yo, it's fake. I got my own mixtape here. I got he had a bottle of Henny right here. Boom, he pulled out a boombox. He started blasting his own mixtape. Yeah, B is in the trap. You know where I'm at. LA on my block. And I'm like, what the flux capacitor is going on here? I was in like a polo and some jeans. I didn't know we had to act on spot.
Right.
They even like passed out forms of like your tattoo can't be like Pepsi logos and shit. It was hilarious.
That's funny. So you get there and you actually act on spot though? Is that how it works?
Oh no, I went home.
Oh, you went home.
I
You didn't do it.
I wasn't about the actor life at that moment.
Ah.
I was with my friend who does the commercial acting. He was there trying to get his stag card or whatever. But I was like, this is too hot. I'm not no real gangster. These niggas is like, I didn't mean to say it anywhere. These dudes are like 40, 30 years old. Like, they're actual in the trap. I'm like some kid from Burbank, California. Like,
Yeah.
like during school, I trip over Starbucks cups. Like, I'm not no gangster. So I was like, I'm just going to go home. This role wasn't for me.
Yeah, for real. I forget what I was going to ask you right before that. Damn. Something about... Okay, so acting, goal into that. All right, we're just scratch that. I'm just going to go on to some other question that I had. So when you get into these acting positions, like, how hard is it to move on to where you can get into acting for like a career where you can do this like as a living?
That's the hard part.
You know, how do you move from commercial acting, little side paid gigs into like, this is it now. Now this is all you gotta do. Is there a strategy to it? Or you kind of just get lucky.
There's a strategy. I would say go to everything. Like, everything. There it is again. Excuse me. Every acting gig you can go to, I would say go to it. Try your hardest, try your best, 115%. Okay. And also network. Because you don't know who they know. Like, you can meet somebody, and then their cousin is like the executive producer of ESPN. And like, next thing you know, you're on primetime.
Yeah. That's usually how I feel it works out.
Yeah,
by
and the industry is
networking.
about like who you know. So basically, it sounds kind of bad, but just be nice to everyone. Even if they're a complete prick to you, just be nice and kiss ass a little bit. Don't kiss too much ass because people hate that.
Right.
But
genuinely kiss ass.
Genuinely kiss ass. Like, ask them how their day was. If they have car problems, you're like, you know what? I don't know anything, but we can watch some YouTube videos. We can figure this out. You know, let's go in the back. Let's do this right now. Like, just be as nice as you can because you don't know. You can know, like, my mom knows people, and I didn't even know she knew people. But then, you know, like, she helped other people out. Like, I can't talk about it. I wish I could, but I can't tell you. But, like, she just hooks people up in the most random way just because they're, like, nice people. And it's just so crazy. Like, I was hanging out with this one dude who's, like, a rapper, and then his friend happened to be a club promoter at one of the best clubs in America, according to the Forbes list. And guess where I was? In VIP, bottle service, models, free. And I can show you videos if you don't believe me, but I was in a club for free, like VIP, one of the best clubs in America. And I'm just like, wow, you're just who you know?
Yeah, and what you're saying is exactly what my last guest that I interviewed, Hannibal, who's a comedian, was saying the same thing.
Hannibal Buress?
No, Hannibal Callens.
Oh, I'm about to say, you're interviewing Hannibal Buress and you got me? You're going places, kid.
No, the most famous person I've had on is Matt Steinwide, who's the #1 realtor in Australia.
Oh.
Yeah, he went from like homeless and wanted by the police to being the #1 realtor. But there's a couple other people who said yes, but I just haven't gotten them on yet. Mm-hmm. But he said the same thing that you're saying, that yes, it is talent too, but it's also like being nice and like networking. Networking is how he gets a lot of his paid gigs, and why he'll get them over people who maybe are even better than him is just because maybe they're assholes and he's not. And it's about being likable is huge. Okay, so now transitioning from making it in acting, what you want to do is Instagram modeling ideally. What is a strategy for that and building your Instagram following? Like, do you have like practical tips? And then we can also get into like the abstract stuff too that maybe doesn't work for everyone, but like is there a formula to getting big on Instagram?
Yeah. So it's a little bit of a bullshit formula, but there's a formula.
Okay.
You want to expose yourself as much as you could. And when you're doing stuff like acting, modeling, you have to realize, like, if you get big, your life is no longer private.
Right.
That's a major thing you have to be okay with.
Yeah, obviously.
You ask like you think of someone like Beyonce. Someone like Beyonce, like, I don't want to say this, but it's true. Every night, someone's jacking off to her on Google Images.
Yeah, probably.
That's a realistic thing, and that's something you have to be okay with. Is people being like, because there's weirdos, there's creepy, weirdo, nasty people out there, but there's also good, kind-hearted people. And if you ever want to be like a big, successful person, you have to be used to the fact that there are people who are going to be obsessed with you to a disgusting degree and want to stalk you and follow you and know everything about you.
Well, I feel like that's more scary for women, though.
Yeah, it is scary. For like us dudes, we probably don't have that problem as much.
Yeah.
But for women, it's really scary.
Yeah.
But so you have to be open to that. So you can't like for me, like if you want to grow on Instagram, you can't have your account private. Like
that's an obvious
that's
thing.
obvious.
Yeah.
So some people want to have like 100K followers on a private account. Unless you're a Kim Kardashian, you can't do that. But
Unless you're already famous. Yeah.
then you can do it. I think Kristen Teigen went private at one point. I don't know why, but like you have to be open and exposed to everything. That's what I'm trying to get at.
Okay.
Is you have to be willing. Like people are gonna be so, especially if you're like a girl, you're gonna be so weird in your comment. Like I'm a dude, and sometimes I get like these repulsive women in my mentions telling me they want to do butt stuff with me. Like I'm a dude, and I'm not even like the most attractive dude in the world. Like so I have self-confidence, but I know where I'm at. You know, like, I'm a 7 on a good day. That's my thing. When I get all nice and pretty and I watch my Michelle Phan makeup tutorials, I'm a good 7. Okay, today I'm like a 4, but that's besides me. So you know you have to be okay with that, and you also have to know what you're doing. So like if you want to be a makeup guru, you gotta be in your makeup niche. You gotta see what the other competition's doing to kind of see like, okay, everyone's doing smoky eyes, so maybe I can do smoky eyes with glitter so I can stand out. I'm still in the trending, but I'm also standing out. Like that's just like one example. But
Pick a niche.
Pick a niche.
Well, let's say this though real quick before we leave off from that. So let's say you're somebody who wants to like vlog. You just want to be a lifestyle person. Mm-hmm. Where you can't really pick a niche. You know, you're just kind of recording your daily life.
Lifestyle vlog is a niche.
Lifestyle, maybe it is a niche. Like,
it is a niche.
How do you promote that, though, like, in this sense? You know, because it's a little different where maybe, like, you know who to target if you're doing makeup tutorials. Like, you have a better idea of who your audience is. But when you're doing, like, a lifestyle vlog, even if it is a niche, like, kind of don't really know who your audience is until you have an audience. Like, so how do you start to target them to grow it? What kind of content do you put out? Because now it's more ambiguous. It's like, you know, makeup artists, that's what you want to do. You know, like, makeup goes into here. But, like, lifestyle vlog, now it's kind of, like, all random. You know, might have just different stuff in it. It's never the same. So it gets a little more ambiguous.
You have to... this is the hardest part about being, like, a creative and want to be a successful creative. You have to realize that people don't care. They don't care about you. They don't care about anything. But you have to make them care.
How do you do that, though? Obviously, how do you do that?
So you can be a lifestyle blogger, but you have to look at your content and think, is this something I would watch?
Is it actually good?
Yeah, is it actually good? Like, you look at someone like, I'm trying to think of a lifestyle blogger. I'm going to say...
I mean, you got Logan Paul, but he kind of... That's not a real lifestyle. It's almost like he makes it like that lifestyle.
Yeah. I'm going to throw out some name. I think his name is Evan... I'm going to do a simple one. Ellie of the Mills. She's a YouTuber, and she started doing, like, these weird, like, video edits, like, what if Walking Dead was a romantic comedy, stuff like that. And then she built her fan base like that, and then she's doing, like, a lifestyle blog, like...
so first build your fan base doing something else, and then people care?
No, don't do that. Don't do that. That's what she did. But, like, her stuff now, it's like, I made my mom a Tinder account, and all that kind of... When you say lifestyle, do you mean, like, daily life? Like, here's me in Maui, or like, I got a tattoo?
Okay, let me. Yeah, that's it's a good question.
There's so many spectrums of lifestyle.
Good question. Well, usually, like you're saying, is usually how I feel like most people will get success in lifestyle vlogs. So it's maybe usually like you're famous in something else, or people like you because you're a makeup artist so much that now they care what you do in every single thing of your day and they want to see a lifestyle vlog. But it's very hard to get people to want to, like how Gary Vee says, don't create, document. It's very hard to get people to want to watch you document unless you're like Gary Vee and you've achieved something. Mm-hmm. It's hard to just get people on your page when like you're just documenting. It's like, who are you? Why should I even care? And so I guess let's say if I were to vlog, right? Mm-hmm. I'm not, rather than like Logan Paul, like saying, oh, I'm going to vlog. There's two types of daily vlogs in my opinion. One like Logan Paul where it says, all right, because I'm vlogging, I'm going to go out and I'm going to go to the beach. I'm going to go to a party. I'm going to do fun stuff. So there's entertaining content in my vlog versus more like Gary Vee says, documenting, which is I'm not going to do anything different because I'm vlogging. I'm just going to have the camera on and that is it. So I would kind of show, you know, okay, I'm doing a podcast this morning. Maybe show a couple clips in the podcast, maybe give some feedback on the podcast, what I thought, or, you know, try to put your own spin on it. But then I show, okay, now I work out in the day. Like, what are my goals? And that's kind of, how do you do that? You know, documenting, not creating a lifestyle
I
blog.
would say if you're documenting, make it, if it's not like entertaining, like you're not cliff diving or whatever, make it informative. Let people learn. That's what Peter McKinnon does in some of his vlogs. Is like he's showing you like, oh, I'm out here in Canada because he lives in Canada, so it's not something new. He goes out all the time, but he's also teaching. So he's teaching camera tricks like, oh, this is how you would take a picture in landscape in the snow. You would want to do this, that, and the other, but he's also vlogging it. So if you are not like doing something crazy, spontaneous, like getting a tattoo with your best friend's name on your ankle or whatever,
right?
Try to teach.
Okay.
So that way people are like, you're adding, like Gary Vee said, you have to add value to your content.
Yeah.
So if you're teaching something, if you're tutorial, like if you're doing like a workout vlog, be like, common mistakes people do when they're working out. Bad form, bad positioning, low reps, whatever. You're teaching, add content, add value. Where people are like, okay, I'm learning, I'm improving by watching this.
Yeah.
Watching you makes me better.
Okay.
You're learning from their mistakes or what their past knowledge is, like, so they're improving and they're learning.
So now that we've gotten that, let's go back to, which thank you, because that really helps a lot clarify things. Back to some of the strategies that you're mentioning for building your Instagram account. Let's stick with Instagram for now. Mm-hmm. So you said be open to everything. Be open to everything. And then
find your niche.
And now where are we going to?
And then when you find your niche, it gets a lot simpler for them. People just upload expecting to be big overnight. Like, I'm sorry, Samantha, but your selfie is not that good. Like, you're not Kylie Jenner. We don't really care. But
now, what do you mean by find your niche, though? Because for me, like, I'm somebody who has different interests. So it may seem like I don't have a niche because I might be posting about psychology because that really interests me. And then maybe fitness, and then, you know, podcasting and talk shows and stuff. And it's just like these things don't even seem like they correlate. Mm-hmm. And it seems like I don't have a niche, but like the correlation between them all is just things that I like.
Yeah. Finding your niche, like if you're going straight, like Instagram growth would be your thing. But if you're like you have multiple different things, I would say be bigger on your other platforms. And then get your followers to traffic towards your Instagram.
Okay.
That way it's big by itself. Because like if you just have all this random stuff, people follow you like, well, I don't know what the fuck's going on. Because 1 minute he's podcasting, next minute he's fishing, and next minute he's doing photography,
right.
and the next minute he's ice skating. Like I didn't subscribe to enjoy your life. I subscribed because I liked your podcast.
Right.
But people who are a fan of your podcast, who are a fan of you personally,
become a fan of your life.
Become a fan of your life. But if you just like, you're like, I want to be an Instagram makeup artist. Boom. Then just only put makeup stuff on.
Okay, that's very good point.
Don't put hair, just put makeup. You know, like it's kind of different the way you want to grow it. But if you have if you have all these other things you want to do, traffic them to Instagram. But if you want to be Instagram and traffic to everything else, have your niche.
Right. That makes perfect explanation. That makes a lot of sense. Okay, so once you got your niche, now what do you do? Or is that the main three things that you stop at? Or two things?
Check out your competition. Always find out your competition. Look at your large-scale competition and look at your small-scale competition. Okay. So, like let's say, I'm trying to think of a good... okay, I can't think of a makeup artist, but I can think of a photographer. So, if your photographer is Peter McKinnon. Yeah. You want to go, and you would go his page, and then you kind of want to... You want to hit that little drop down next to the follow button, and it'll have suggested people who are similar to him. So you'll have like Chris Ryan. I don't even know if that's a real person, but you have like no, not Chris Ryan. Chris Hall, Evan something. I forget all their names. Sam Coldler. All these photographers. They'll be all his related, and usually they're either small or just as big. And you're gonna keep kind of circling down till you find people like if you have 5K followers. Look at people who have like 5 to like 20K followers and kind of see what they're doing to kind of grow. Okay. A lot of times, what they're doing is they're using hashtags in their niche. So if you're a photographer, hashtag photography, hashtag photographer, hashtag portrait, hashtag whatever. And all their hashtags are photography related because what you see is what you get. Photographer hashtags, photographer. I upload daily photography content. So that's one thing. You want to you're allowed to have 30 hashtags on Instagram. Use all of them.
Yeah.
Use all of them. The more exposure you get, the better. Okay. My sister just texted me, "Hey, handsome, I pray you have an amazing day. Love you." All right, whatever. Sisters, what can you do? But yeah, you always want to check out your competition and see what you're doing. If you want to start a gaming channel on YouTube, what's your competition? SS Sniper Wolf, well, not anymore. What's his Rice Gum? All those people, Optic Phase. What are they all doing? They're playing Fortnite. So I wouldn't say play Fortnite, but you kind of have to play a little Fortnite just to get that traffic. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
You always want to see what the other people are doing, so you're kind of like in the norm of what they're doing, but also be different.
Now let me ask you in a selfish way, because in case people don't get this, I'm not just really asking for the end user. I'm kind of asking for myself too. All these questions. Let's take it in the podcast sense. Now, who do I look at to compare? Do I compare myself to someone like? Because there's so many podcasters and so many different types of podcasts. You know, it's hard to say, like, do I compare myself to someone who's doing a 10-minute clips where I'm doing hour ones? Do I compare myself to somebody who's, like, doing storytelling where I'm just doing, like, casual conversation? Like, business to entertainment to comedy? Like, who do I compare myself to? And do I compare myself to someone like Joe Rogan who gets 1 billion downloads a year? Or do I compare myself to somebody who, you know, maybe gets 500 to 1,000? Let's say maybe someone who gets 500 followers a month. You know, they're a little above me, more downloads. You know. Yeah.
Find someone in whatever topic you talk about, and then find the lower end of them. So it's no different. So like you're starting out, you're not gonna compare yourself to Gary Vee's podcast.
Right. Yeah.
That shit's huge.
Yeah.
It's big. So you wanna, but if you're in the same niche as him in terms of like self-help entrepreneur, try to look for some other self-help. You know, if your podcast is about storytelling, type in storytelling, scroll to the very bottom, and look at those people.
Now, should you want to do what they're doing, or do you try to say like, what are they doing wrong, and how can I do this better?
Yeah, listen to their stuff. Don't steal. Not like me.
Of course, yeah.
But like, see what they're doing. See what your competition's doing. Because like if you have a burger place and across the street they're having a burger and they have a burger place, it's both burgers.
Yeah.
The only difference maybe the recipe. But see what they're doing. Maybe they have TV. You can watch sports there. Oh, okay, so we can have a TV. Having a TV that's not blatantly stealing. But you know, like we can have a TV and we can put on Comedy Central. So that way it's not you can go there for sports and we can come to us to watch Dave Chappelle skits. You know. See what they're doing, and then also go to their social media. See how they're promoting their stuff. See how they're growing. Does it look like they're running ads on their things? What kind of hashtags are they using on Instagram?
Yeah.
Who's commenting on their stuff? Is it their friends and family? Does it look like mom and dad and all that? Or does it look like general, you know, fans
real
of the,
fans,
of
yeah.
the content? Like, look what they're doing. Look to see how they're growing. If they have a YouTube, some people I know, they take their podcast, they slap a picture over it and they upload to YouTube, and maybe their traffic is putting 30-second snippets on YouTube and be like, hey, you want to listen to the full thing? Go to iTunes, type in Bay Markets Podcast, listen there. See what they're doing.
Right.
And how they're growing. Go to some people, you can go like Social Blade and look at their analytics and see how they're doing things.
Social Blade.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So you can see like how many followers they're gaining a month on Instagram or whatever.
Okay, I'll remember that. Let's take it to one other step. Let's look at YouTube real quick. Mm-hmm. It actually can apply to YouTube, Instagram, podcasts, all that. So obviously all these things are important. I'm not just saying that. What I'm about to say is like content is key, which you always hear. I'm not saying content is the only thing that's key and you can disregard doing hashtags and graphics and all these things, but how important is content compared to remembering to add hashtags on your Instagram posts, to remembering to record with a good camera or to have perfect editing? Like, how important is content on a scale of, 0 to 100%? Would you say content is 70% of what makes people want to listen, or would you say no, it's only 20% and all the extra stuff that you do is 80% worth of what gets people there? Or would you say no, content is 90% of why people listen and it's that important and the other stuff is just little icing on the cake, doesn't really matter, you don't even really need it?
That's a good question. I say content is 40% and the other stuff is 60%.
Okay, interesting.
Because like I like YouTube. So
you would say that by, let's say for YouTube, for example, by adding an intro song and maybe an outro song and having, really perfecting your thumbnail, it could be considered 60%, and the actual content itself is only 40%.
Yeah.
Okay.
Having all that stuff is what you need, because the more clickable it is, the better. Because if you go on YouTube right now, we're in like this era of clickbait. Like, no title is actually what the video is about.
Right.
Like, sometimes they'll be like, but like the thumbnail is very misleading, or the title are very misleading, and it's like these generic titles. They're like, well, what's this about? And they click on it. The minute they click on it, you're still getting that view.
Right, but you're not getting real fans.
You're not getting real fans, but you're getting more exposure, and more exposure can lead to more fans. Like, if you have one thing and it gets a lot of views, a lot of clicks in a small amount of time, the YouTube algorithm, whatever, is gonna put that on like explore pages, people's recommended, and people who generally like that stuff will follow you.
Because that makes sense. Because I thought the same thing, but my thought process was is that even if you get like a lot of exposure, a lot of clicks, it might, your subscribers might never grow if your content really sucks. But I figured if you have really good content, you may not get rushed in with 1,000 followers or 1,000 clicks at once, but you maybe will get 20 or 30. And if your content's really that good, they're going to tell other people, and you don't even have to worry about your hashtags, your logos, or anything. If your content's that good, it will just, don't even worry about it. So you think it's true, but not as important as I'm saying as it is.
If you want great content, people came because of how you presented yourself.
Okay.
So you have a clickbait title, a good thumbnail, a little short description. It looks nice. It looks presentable. Okay, it doesn't look like some video that was recorded on like a Google Pixel phone. Google Pixel actually good phones.
I know what you mean.
Like a little flip phone. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it looks great. They click on it and they're watching it. Like, okay, it's kind of not what I was expecting, but this is still great. Like, the editing's nice. The sound quality is amazing. Quality is great. Presentable. This is all great. I might check out his other stuff. Oh, there it is on the recommended side. Oh, okay, he has some other stuff. He's consistently good content. Subscribe. Or it's just more like, this is funny. I want to see more. Subscribe. Whatever.
Yeah.
They have their own reasons for subscribing. I don't know what's wrong with me today. My bodily fluids is all acting up.
No worries, man.
But you want that exposure first, and then have that good content to back it up.
Okay, that makes sense. I get what you're saying. Get their foot in the door, and then your content's got to keep them there and have them walk through.
Yeah.
Okay, so
like how you found me. I was you saw me on Orlando or a hashtag or whatever. And you're going through. There's probably a lot of bland looking stuff. Am I right?
Yeah.
A lot of selfies, some weird pictures that you don't really get bad quality. Then you see me with a gorilla, walking in the background. You're like, okay. I found you through all this mess of stuff. Let me click on your page. Oh my God, your whole page is like this. Great content. Let me hit up this dude.
Yeah, okay, I get what you're saying. That's a good analogy. So we got right now, be open to everything, find your niche.
Check out competition.
Check out your competition. What is the fourth thing? Before you answer that real quick, tell everyone where they can find you and like all your things where you want to get exposure on.
Oh, that's a great question. I don't know what I want exposure on.
Well, definitely your Instagram.
You can find me on Instagram at Marcus Lazell. That's Marcus, Marcus, Lazell, Lazell. Or you could type in the Bay Marcus at TheBaeMarcus on Instagram. I have 2 accounts. One's for videos, one's for pictures. I don't like blending the two.
Okay.
I just hate it so much. I don't know. It just drives me insane.
I'll put them in the description too.
Yeah. I'm also on YouTube. My YouTube's not that great. I'm still working on my content. That's something you have to improve on. Because I look at my videos, I'm like, you know what? I wouldn't watch this.
I feel like I'm not good at YouTube. I feel like it's a lot harder to be good too. I feel like I'm much better at podcasting than on YouTube.
YouTube is very hard.
Very hard.
Especially because you can be a self-taught like animal. The fact that you can go on your computer in your room at 2:00 in the morning, download Adobe Premiere Pro, and then watch four YouTube tutorials and become a beast overnight, it's just insane.
Oh, the competition's crazy. The number of people on there, and then two, just making good content in itself is a lot harder than people think. Like once the camera's on, it's like acting. It's like you think it's easy, but like no, really being good at acting is actually hard. And yeah, anyone can make a YouTube video, but good, like it's hard.
Good, it's hard. It's hard. It's just something you have to keep doing it.
Yeah.
To keep doing it. You can't stop.
And the reason why I like talking about these subjects so much is just because this platform, I feel like all these platforms, what I mean by that, social media, is just an opportunity for anyone to take their business or what they like to do and be their own boss and make their own living out of it. So whatever it is that you like to do, this kind of applies to anyone. That's why I think it's important that everyone should learn these things. But what is the next tips, or does it stop there? Are those just the 3 things you need to know to grow Instagram?
I think that's it. If something comes to me, I'm like, oh wait, but I think that's it. Just,
now, does that work across all the platforms?
Yeah, if you have,
YouTube too, and
consistency. Be consistent. That's major key. Like don't be doing one thing and then just switch it up. You're gonna lose a lot of people that way. If you're doing photography things and then you just flip your account to a makeup tutorial, like be consistent, upload regularly. One thing people like is a schedule. Okay. It's having a set schedule. That way people like every Thursday. Wait, no. Every Wednesday, the Joe Budden podcast releases on iTunes. Well, on Thursdays, they release the video form, so you can actually see the reactions, what they're doing. So they record it audio and visually. So I always have that in my mind. It's Wednesday. What I'm gonna do after this, I'm gonna go watch a podcast. I'm gonna listen to a podcast, and I'm gonna watch it again on Thursday because I'm just some type of weird psychopath who enjoys content. But having a schedule, it lets people know when you're gonna upload, and so they can be expecting it. So they can come back for more.
I agree.
Because if you upload Tuesday this day, you wait 3 months, you upload on a Wednesday, and then you wait 2 days and you upload on Thursday, it's like, well, you're all over the place. I don't know when I'm gonna get the next video from you.
Yeah, there's only one person who I've seen that has been able to pull it off, where they have literally done the opposite of like what everyone thinks is right, and that's the guy I'm talking about, Joe Rogan. I don't know if he still has the most downloads for podcasts, but he gets like 1 billion a year. That's a lot of freaking downloads. And what he does is like, there's no intro music, there's no outro music. They're like 3.5 hours long. Like these are long podcasts. They're not short like most people think. Some of his guests, like I've never even heard of, and they just come on and it's not even like a informative interview or like there's a goal or something, some kind of message he's trying to get by. It's just him just having a conversation with them, and if they're talking about their meal that they had earlier, they talk about that. If they want to talk about like anything, like sometimes it's entertaining, sometimes it's informative, sometimes educational. Like he interviews different kinds of people. It's not just, oh, I only interview athletes or MMA fighters. It's like everyone across the board, from scientists to journalists to readers to artists, like everyone. And also he doesn't like have a set schedule. Like he'll have maybe one podcast come out like Monday, Tuesday, nothing Wednesday, Thursday, then like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and just like all over the place. And it's worked so well for him. It's like that has become his niche in his own, that he doesn't fit a niche. Yeah. It's crazy.
Not being a niche can also be a niche.
Yeah.
It's harder, but he's also successful on multiple platforms.
Right. And I think what helped is because he had a little fame in the beginning. So like he was doing other things. Like he was a promoter for UFC, and he was a professional comedian. And then when he started his podcast, maybe his real true fans listened, and then it was just so good that they just spread it at word of mouth, and that he never had to worry about getting the clickbait. Yeah. Because him being famous to begin with was the clickbait.
Exactly.
Yeah, so I think that's what did it for him. But what do you put out on YouTube? What's your kind of content? You don't know.
I still, because I'm a creative person, so I'll do everything and anything. My problem is sticking with one thing.
That's what I struggle with too. Like my interest just bounced. Like I'm interested in this, and then I want to try that, and then I want to try this. So it's hard for me to stay consistent, like you're saying, which is so important.
Yeah, I recommend if you're like, if you can't really, you want to do it, but you don't know where, just try everything. And see what hits. Yeah,
that's been my thoughts.
Like I have a video on YouTube with like 11,000 views, and I didn't promote it. I didn't do anything. I uploaded a reaction to Eminem's song, but I guess I don't know. I didn't even have like a funny reaction. I just made faces the whole time. I was like, I was like, good Lord, what is this?
No, man, it's crazy.
Yeah, and then I upload I upload a video of me vlogging, going house to house, taking people's popcorn. But I got like 20 views, you know?
I don't understand. All right, so it's like I try to get on all the new apps, you know, like Gary Vee says was on Musical.ly. I did like a post, just like testing it out, see how the thing works. Posted me doing a backflip on a trampoline, like nothing impressive, and just didn't even really edit a song to it. Just clicked the first one, which was like Khaled, added it to it. Then got like 200,000 views. I was like, what the hell? Then I post my next video, which is a little bit more like thought process into it, choreography, and like much more cooler than just a stupid slow motion backflip on a trampoline. Like that's not impressive at all. Did not, maybe got like 5,000 views from the people who decided to subscribe because of those 200,000 views. So I was like, man, I don't get this. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah. You gotta so maybe try another backflip video and see if that works.
Yeah.
And then if that works again, you're backflip kid.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. You're backflip kid now.
That's true. But, where was I going to go with this? Damn, I kind of forgot. Oh, yeah. Do you read any books?
Yes and no. I have audiobooks. Sometimes I listen to them. Sometimes I don't. I'll have them on my phone for months and I'll never listen to them. I spent a whole night illegally downloading audiobooks.
Yeah.
Like I found like the audio files on like Pirate Bay. I downloaded the $10 converter app to make them look all nice and fancy on my iTunes. Never listened to them. I don't know. I'm weird.
You like to watch more, right? Or like listen to podcasts, stuff like that.
Yeah, I like watching.
Yeah. So Gary Vee, I know what he does. What does Budden do? Is that the other podcast you said? Budden?
Oh, Joe Budden.
Joe Budden. Mm-hmm. Is that a comedy? I've heard of him before. Is that a comedy podcast?
Yes and no. He talks about like hip hop and things and like hip hop culture. Like he'll talk about like the Met Gala, but he'll talk about like rappers and rap beef and all these things. And the thing that makes it a little interesting is that it's mostly music orientated, but they're musical people. So Joe Budden himself, he's an ex-rapper. He made the song Pump It Up. And you know, like he was a rapper. He had rap beef with Drake. And he has his other two friends who are like music produced, like not music produced, but they work in the music industry, like as like marketing and networking artists and musicians, setting up like festivals and all that. So they're all in the music industry. So they have that unique perspective, like the behind the scenes. Like it's easy for me to just sit in the library with my microphone and be like, fuck Drake. Drake's a wave rider. Drake steals flows. Drake's awful. But it's different. You're like, no. You know why he does that? He's trying to get hits. He's promoting this.
Right, they look at both sides of it.
Yeah, both sides of the spectrum. But they're also hilarious at times because I remember like 2 episodes ago, they were reading a story about this girl who got mad because Future wanted to have sex with her. Like he indirectly said he was her whole purpose was just to have sex with her, but she got so mad that he just wanted her for sex. Even though if you listen to the story, it was like, yeah, he just wants to have sex with you. But he didn't like rape her or anything, but they just laugh and it's just a great time.
Yeah, like each podcast is so unique and that's why I like them. Like you find your own. But what drives you though? Like what is the most enjoyable thing for you and makes you the happiest? Is it like pursuing your goals and these kind of dreams? Or is it more like hanging out with friends and socializing? Or like what is your purpose in life? Like what do you just love to do?
Having fun, trying everything, doing everything, just making a life worth remembering, you know, like I remember reading this in the back of a comic book. At the end of it all, we don't regret the things we did. We regret the things we didn't do. Mm-hmm. So, like, I don't want to be 80 years old, like, on my deathbed and think about, maybe I should have went surfing. I wonder what happened if I did start a podcast. I wonder, that's what drives me every morning is to go out and do things, you know, like. Yeah. Like, you emailed me. Like, I don't even know what you look. I thought your name said, like, Claudia or something like that. I thought you were a girl. And then you were, like, a dude. And I was like, okay, this is different, but fuck it. I'm not going to look at you and be like, and just walk away. Like, You know, like trying new things, experiencing everything. That's like the best part about life is that there's just so much to do and you can do everything.
Right. Yeah. Because I just try to find out, like, what drives everyone and, like, what they're after and kind of, like, the debate between, like, happiness and, like, or finding a meaningful life. Mm-hmm. So the two sides of the story is, like, one is happiness isn't really what you're chasing after because you can't really sustain it. Like, without sadness, too, like, there is no happiness and you're always going to go up and down. But really what gets you through the hard times is more like having a meaningful life, like having a purpose, something that drives you. So I was trying to find, like, what can help people get through those things and what kind of each drives that own individual person to see if I can find a correlation.
Yeah, it's all bullshit. There's no, like, definitive meaning.
Right. It's like, different for everyone.
Has their own thing. Like, people say money can't make you happy. There's a lot of problems in my life money could definitely solve.
Of course,
you feel me? Like people who say money won't make you happy, successful people are like the most beautiful. Like, no. There are people who are successful and rich and who are happy as fuck.
Yeah.
Like, happy as all hell. And it's because they have money, they have a good life. Like, well, there's people who are also poor as hell who are also happy too. So it's like, whatever makes you happy, like wherever it's like greed, selfishness, whatever, whether it's saving the tree or cutting down trees to make a new mall in your name, like whatever it is that makes you happy, I say go do it, as long as it's morally okay.
Well, and like you're saying though, like trying out different things. Are you naturally like that, like an extroverted person, or do you kind of get maybe sometimes like you get a little like shy or nervous to go do something and you just have to force yourself to do it? Like, how did you become that person who's just like open to trying new things, or were you always that person?
I was actually an introvert. I think I changed my life around.
I think so too. Yeah.
I think I was really an introvert because growing up, I lived really far away from everyone in my school. Like, everyone grew up in like these towns and your school, and they'd be like a mile away or a couple blocks down the road. Now, I live like hours away from my schools. So I would literally go to school, kind of not talk to people, and then go home and then be home by myself for like hours until the next day of school. And that'd be like through middle school and through high school. And so I kind of decided, like, you know what? It's like, I got to live my life. I can't just go to school and be home by myself texting. Like, literally, if you texted me back then, I would reply so fast because I wasn't doing anything else. Like, I was just like, hi, how's it going? Hey, you want to check this YouTube video I watched? When you watch it, tell me how you feel. Just have a discussion about it, like. And I was just like, I should like live life and just try everything, try new things. So I was in all sorts. I was in robots engineering club. Was I good at it? No. I was in Rubik's Cube club. I was in chess club. I was in Yu-Gi-Oh club. I was in debate club, drama club, key club. I did track. Football, swimming, volleyball. I just go out and you just try fucking everything, and you never know like all the great experiences and moments you can have. Like I'm so much relatable now to other people because people are like, oh, I did volleyball. People look at me like, oh, you probably did basketball, football. Like, well, yeah, I did, but I also did volleyball, and I was a damn good middle. You know what I'm saying? Like we had like volleyball stories. Like, you ever do like this with the ball? Like, yeah, I ever done that? And you just make those connections. You just all these great people, and you think like, wow, I know this person because I did something out of my norm. I stepped outside my little box. I just did something, and then now I have something, a part of me that I'll never like lose.
Yeah, it's interesting that you say that because it's the same way for me too. Like, I think I'm kind of more naturally geared towards introvert, or at least in the middle. Like, I'm in between introvert and extrovert. Like, I'm either way. If I'm alone too long, I get like lonely and I want to go out and hang out with people. But if I'm hanging out with people all the time, I'm like, yo, I need a little break. I need to get back to myself. Yeah, well, some people it's not. Like, I have a roommate, man. He needs to be around someone 24/7. Hates being alone. It is like the devil for him. But what I try to say is, like, to get over it, like, you just have to kind of force yourself to go and face these things that maybe you're a little scared or nervous to go do. And as you do that, then the fear starts to get weaker and you start to get stronger. But if you let that fear stop you from going to do something, that gets stronger and you get weaker. And next time when it comes up, it gets harder to say no. And then eventually it just begins to be little small things that you can't even say yes to. You're just saying no to them too. So that's my philosophy and why I think it's so important for it. Yeah. But Marcus, is there anything else that you want to go over or touch before we wrap up? If not, it's cool. But
I'm really hungry.
Cool.
That's all I got, sir.
Yeah, let's wrap it up. Thank you, Marcus. Pleasure having you.
Thank you.